Why don't car companies just make a basic car with a manual transmission and roll-up windows and no touchscreen and none of that stuff? Because nobody would buy it. No, really, nobody would buy it. You could price it at $15,000 new, have one trim level, it's 15 grand, and nobody would buy it. Now, nobody might be a little bit harsh. I'm sure there's going to be a small fraction of the population that's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. See, cars are very, very much an emotional decision. It's very much a keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing. As much as everybody hates to admit it, that's what it is. Everybody wants the latest and greatest. Everybody wants the new technology. And again, everybody might be a little bit of a stretch of that term. Not everybody does. But new car buyers do. But if cars were purely a logical decision and not an emotional one, we would all be driving base model, white, 1995 Toyota Camrys. As always, fight about it in the comments and follow me for more content like this at Spittin' Bars Selling Cars.
Nobody wants it, and that's why the dealership's having the discount. I mean, look, what dealership wants to do this? And this shows the price is wrong to begin with. $48,000 from 63 2025 Dodge Charger. Of course they're going to have to discount it because, I mean, think about that. A fake exhaust sound EV. Look at that, $10,000 off. That's the only way. And then we got $100,000 Jeeps. Literally, I'm not even joking. Look at this, 100. Can you guys see that? Let me get the phone read. $101,000 from 106. So the actual MSRP is 106 for a Wrangler. Like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a $100,000 Wrangler? Yes, it actually exists. And here you go. It doesn't even make sense. You think you're just making, I mean, what world are we living in where this is a reality? You know what I mean? But this is the truth. And look at this, $84,000. Look at the payment, $1,355 for 84 months. Think about financing $1,385 for 84 months. Let's look at this payment because what is it? Over $1,600? I mean, some people's mortgage payment on a Jeep Wrangler. I mean, look at this, do the math on that one. $1,639 times 84, you know? That's robbery on a Wrangler. It's a complete mess what's going on. They have vehicles that have been on the lot.
A lot of the cars that's coming out right now is way overpriced. And these companies, they know that already. So don't be surprised, the end of this year and the beginning of next year, they're going to be doing a lot of sign here. We'll give you 3 months off before your first payment. We'll give you 0 ARP. I'm going to tell you, no matter if your credit is good, bad, come on down. We'll sign you up. And it's crazy because they rather do this than bring the car down to the right price where it's affordable and it's not price gouging. And if you got bad credit and you got the money to spend on these marked up cars, whoop-de-doo, then do it by all means. If you're an average person looking to buy one of the newer vehicles and stuff like that, just wait it out. Wait till all of this stuff because it's going to go down and they're going to be pushing cars out there for half the price because this is just the beginning. People are not buying cars and they know this. That's why they're trying to get you in the door. But they want to keep that main mark sticker price without letting you leave that store.
You know the car market is getting bad when dealers are wholesaling cars that they originally had for retail. This thing has been on the lot since 2024. This has literally almost been on a lot for 2 years. 18 months. 18 months this thing has been on a lot. You want to know the number one reason why this thing hasn't sold? Did you say price? Because that's what it's got to be. The price has to be the reason this thing hasn't sold. Or the fact that it's a Jeep. It's actually kind of funny. This thing only has 44,000 miles on it. I would get wholesaling an old car like this, right? Because this thing, by looking at the driver's seat, this thing probably has almost 200,000 miles on it. And it has a rejection sticker for the state inspection. So probably needs some work, right? And it's probably worth more than the car to do the work. But when they're wholesaling cars that they tried to sell for retail for almost 2 years. Sometimes you get caught at the dealership making videos. That's kind of funny. It's 8:29 in the morning. He was really, really nice though. But the one thing there, and I've noticed it in the past few months now, because they're not selling cars, they're going back to their old tactic. COVID there, that like couple year period, salesmen would not even bother talking to you because they were getting 5, 10 grand, 20 grand over sticker. But now it's the same, go full circle again, and they're coming back up to you and they're basically chasing you down.
Truck buyers have finally had enough, and these dealerships cannot sell these $100,000+ trucks, and they have been sitting 400, 500, 700, even 800 days, a 2022 Harley-Davidson 1500 Sierra still on the lot in my area. Can you believe that? A 2022, and it's the beginning of 2025. That's how bad these dealerships mess up, but most of the time, it's when they add these extra packages, Spider packages, Black Widow package, whatever they call it, Harley-Davidson package, Black Ops package, for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for these BS packages when you can go on your own and get the lift and tires and all this stuff for a better deal most likely. And what happens to the original wheels and tires and all that stuff that you took off? So it's just a lose-lose situation for the customer, and these overpriced $100,000 pickups have been sitting for 600, 700, 800 days on the lot just rotting away. So yeah, they might discount them 20, 30 grand, but if they're so overpriced,
Ford jacked up the prices of their trucks and now they're not selling and things are getting bad. A new 2025 F-150 Platinum costs over $85,000 and Ford dealers aren't selling them. This one's been sitting for over 250 days at this dealership. Now look at some of this data. For example, MSRP $85,000, the dealer invoice price is $79,000. So it's super profitable for the dealer, but again, it's not selling. How bad is the situation? There's a 6,030 days supply of inventory because only one of these F-150 Platinums have sold in the last 45 days within 500 miles of this one, yet Ford dealers in that same area have 134 for sale. That's a huge issue because there's a lot of supply and not enough demand. So what's Ford doing about it? Well, they're giving you 0% financing for 36 months to try and sweeten the deal. But you tell me, how many people can afford a $2,200 monthly payment for a pickup truck? Now on the other end of the spectrum, the Ford Maverick is selling way better. For example, $35,895 MSRP on this XLT. And again, look at the data. The MSRP, $35,895. The dealer invoice price is $35,176. The dealer doesn't make a lot of money when they sell this truck, but they can sell a lot of them. 165 days supply for this one, 129 have sold in the last 45 days, yet there are 474 for sale. That's actually still too many for sale and not enough sold, but it's way better than the F-150 Platinum that we looked at a moment ago. So yeah, Ford is in some serious trouble. They built way too many expensive pickup trucks that aren't selling, and that means you can go in and negotiate a hell of a deal, especially as we enter into the fourth quarter here and the end of the year. That's when dealers are most desperate, especially to sell the 2025 inventory because they have 2026s coming soon. To learn how to negotiate the best deal possible, obviously follow here on TikTok and Instagram and all that fun stuff, but also go to caredge.com and let us help you out.
There's one car that no matter how low the credit is, no matter how desperate someone is for a car, anytime this car is presented as an option, they will always say no. They will never agree to taking this car home. Something about this car is just so ugly to every single genre of audience. No matter which person, a girl, a man, an old lady, a young girl, there's not one genre of audience that are attracted to this car. It is.
What happens when a car just doesn't sell? Someone asked me that, and there's lots of answers to that question if it's new versus used, but let's just talk about new cars. So when a new car just never sells, which hasn't been a problem in the last few years because of the car shortage, but there has been times where it was. And it's most likely a car that is like something we have a ton of, Sentras, Altimas. There's a few things that we could do. One is put them into loaner car service, meaning our service department obviously services about 1,600 people a month. And sometimes people need a car to drive if their car is going to be in the shop for more than a day or so. So like these two cars are good examples. We probably had multiple Altimas in that color. They were probably over 300 days on the lot. Sentra as well. They're not the hottest selling car. So what happens is we put them into loaner service. The good thing about that is when it comes out of loaner service, we could sell it as a pre-owned car and is automatically qualified as a certified pre-owned. It gets extra rebates, some other benefits as well. And then on new cars, sometimes we'll sell them to rental car companies, or we just wait it out and they eventually do sell.
I just turned 30, and this is for all the young women in their 20s. Most important piece of advice I could ever give you: do not buy a new car. Don't do it. It is a scam. Don't even buy a new or used car. In fact, don't get a car that's over $25,000 unless you can pay for at least half of it out of pocket. I had a 2020 Subaru Forester Premium with about 80,000 miles on it. Unfortunately, it was totaled. I was paying a disgusting amount of money every month for that car. I just got an email from the car dealership that I bought that Subaru from saying, oh, hey, we'd be interested in buying your Subaru. If it has about 90,000 miles and it's in excellent condition, we'll buy it from you for $7,000. 3 years ago, a mere 3 years ago, they sold me that car for $30,000. $30,000, and 3 years later, it's only worth $7,000. Hot girls are smart with their money. They buy reliable brands like Toyota, like Lexus, like Honda. They take care of their cars and they have them forever and they save a bunch of money. Since my Subaru is totaled, I bought a 13-year-old car. It is a very reliable brand, very reliable model. I've had it for a few months and it has caused me no issues whatsoever. Biggest piece of advice, do your research on the brand. Buy something that you can pretty much afford outright, or at least half at the bare minimum, and save your money. Save your money. Do not buy a new car. That is a scam.
The U.S. is officially in a new car affordability crisis, and the numbers are brutal. The average price of a new vehicle is now hovering around $49,500 to $50,000, while the average monthly payment has climbed into the $730 to $750 range. And with interest rates still high, buyers are paying thousands more over the life of their loan than they did just a few years ago. To survive, shoppers are stretching loans longer than ever. 7-year and even 8-year loans are becoming common, not because people want them, but because it's the only way for them to make the payments work. That's also driving a surge in negative equity, where old loan balances get rolled into new deals. Automakers, they do share some blame too. Many have moved away from affordable cars towards more high-margin trucks, SUVs, and premium trims, pushing average prices even higher. The result is that first-time buyers and middle-income families are being pushed out of the new car market altogether. Now, I do think that sooner or later, one of these automakers will go after that market segment because it is just sitting there for the taking. But until then, fewer affordable new cars today means a tighter, more expensive used car market tomorrow. But let me know what you guys think.
I was 7 years old thinking that 2025 was going to have like flying cars and all that type of shit. And y'all selling a 96 Honda for $7,800? I'm about to call the cops on you. There is nothing on this earth that should make you think that a 96 Honda in 2025 is worth $7,800. You want 8 bands? You want $8,000 for that? Quit playing with me, man. That shit older than me almost. That shit got more miles on it than a retired hooker. And you're telling me you want $7,800? Bitch, this is a $3 hole right here. Immediately. And then y'all be slick talking as if y'all doing me a favor. Oh, it's normally 78, but for you, I do 58. I'm not even going to give you 8 for this, so figure out whatever you need to on the financial end. If I'm going to give you $8,000 for a car that's a 96, I can just go put that down on a brand new car. And I'll be a third of the way done with it. And then it's $7,800. You're going to give me a 27% APR rate, which means my monthly payments over for a 60-month agreement is going to be $400 and some payments for a 96 Honda?